Hello my fellow humans and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. Would love to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And if you're new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And we do things completely differently around here. So with that being said, if the messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It will have everything you need. With that, today we are doing What Do Strangers Secretly Think About You But Won't Say? I was going to do people, but as I was sitting there thinking about it, I was like, you know what? I kept getting this message that it needed to be strangers. So there's someone here that's been wondering about how people see them outside of them. And of course, we're not getting this information so that we can change ourselves or anything like that. It usually is just a confirmation of our intuition and for entertainment purposes. So with that, let's hop to our prayer and we'll get your reading started. My beloved source, this prayer is for anyone and everyone that comes onto this reading, whether it's for the entire time or for a moment's time. Today I ask that you just help us see clearly what it is that we've been feeling in our heart of hearts and what it is that our intuition's been telling us. Not so that we can alter who we are or worry about what it is that we're bringing into this outer realm, but so that we can really truly lean on this innate wisdom that resides within us and that it's telling us exactly what it is that we've been intuitively feeling. I ask that you help each of us connect with that inner self, that higher self, the messenger that resides within all of us so that we can traverse this journey in this 3D realm with ease and effortlessness. And sometimes it is scary and it is challenging and it is overwhelming. But to know that we don't have to do it alone and that we're all gifted this amazing ability to connect. As long as we open ourselves up to receiving that intuitive notion and that intuitive wisdom, we will be able to clearly guide ourselves each and every day through whatever may come. As these words are spoken upon this tribe and onto this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Aseh. Thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. So let me go ahead and get that set up out of the way over here. All right. So we're going to be using the Lantern Oracle by Angelina Mithravito. I just thought this was a feeling, a feeling? It was a feeling? It's an appropriate oracle for this reading today. Usually I use my talisman oracle cards for these types of readings, but I really felt called to using this one today. So source, what Lantern Oracle cards are going to help us better understand what strangers secretly think about my fellow humans but won't say? What do strangers secretly think about my fellow humans but won't say, source? What Lantern Oracle card is going to help us better understand what strangers secretly think of my fellow humans but won't say? Okay, thank you. What do strangers secretly think of my fellow humans but won't say? Alright. For pile number 1, source, what Lantern Oracle card is going to help us better understand what strangers secretly think of pile number 1 but won't say? What do strangers secretly think of pile number 1 but won't say? What do strangers secretly think of pile number 1 but won't say, source? Okay, that one there. Thank you. And for pile number 2, source, what Lantern Oracle card is going to help us better understand what strangers secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say? Thank you. And for pile number 3, source, what Lantern Oracle card is going to help us better understand what strangers secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? Okay, thank you. Alright, on the bottom of the deck, we have Spirit Self. Be who you are as you are. As a collective message, we have the number 1 card coming here. You guys have a very golden energy about you, very unique and bright, brilliant energy about you. So collectively, strangers think that you are who you are. You're very authentic. You're very grounded. And you're not afraid to show that part of yourself. You know, where so many people are so scared to talk to anybody. They're so scared to show themselves out in the world. You are uniquely you. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's something unique about your hair. Like you wear your hair in a different way, or you have it colored really brightly, or you have it cut in a very different way. Very either futuristic or even very old like style status. I'm getting like pinup girl. Maybe you do your hair like a pinup girl, or like for guys, you might have a really nice crew cut with a full beard. You know, again, if it doesn't resonate, that's okay, because this is a general message. So it's this energy though, where it's like there's something about, maybe you wear a lot of scarves on your head, or you wear a lot of interesting, like maybe you wear ears on your head, or you have a hood that has ears on it. There's something about your head though, like especially your hair, that's very unique, and strangers secretly think that you're really brave for allowing yourself to do this. It's part of who you are. It's part of your identity, and they definitely feel that. And maybe a lot of people don't mention it. I do feel like sometimes people might mention it. You know, they might be like, wow, I really love your hair. I really love the way you styled yourself today, or whatever it is. But I do feel like most strangers, they're just very inspired by you owning yourself and being very confident and calm in that confidence. Like, you're not out here trying to be arrogant, and you're not out here trying to, you know, put one over on others. You're just very calm and collected with who you are. And so strangers are secretly inspired and in awe because of that. So let's see what this says from the book. It says, the maiden wanders in search of her spirit self, represented in the golden apple she holds. She does not recognize that she already has that which she seeks, and continues to look longingly into the distance. To reach the place she desires upon the horizon cannot fulfill her. She will only yet again look longingly into another landscape in the distance. For her to authentically know, enjoy, and integrate any external achievement, she must first discover that she contains within all that she seeks. This is the same for us when we search outside ourselves for a connection with the truth of who we are. Spirit self, also referred to as higher self, vital force, true north, or spirit, is the inner light within that is never lost or extinguished. To live accordingly to our inner light is challenging. We need encouragement and acceptance to align with and embody our spirit self fully. As we develop into adults, the societal pressures to fit in, conform, and fulfill particular roles present obstacles to attuning to our spirit self. Therefore, we are prone to growing estranged from our spirit self. Feelings of self-alienation commonly ensue, and further result in sense of dissatisfaction and restlessness that can adversely affect all aspects of life. Choose to express yourself authentically in an important area of your life. Choosing you in this situation is likely to bring fulfillment and initiate the beginning of you doing the same in other areas of your life. This card also signals a time of significant change, achievement, and wonderment to come from living according to your light. This card heralds a readiness to end any tendency to overvalue external forms of power or influence. Hold this card to you. Okay. So it says, true spirit self is the nourishing light that you seek. Your spirit self is always available to you and worth prioritizing. Yeah, so others are seeking outside validation and outside, you know, they want the attention from others. And for you, you're not seeking that outside validation. So you're walking around confident, calm, collected in who you are. And so what strangers secretly think of you is that you're this very empowered, inspiring person. You might also trigger others, but this is something that's very positive that's coming in overall. So there are going to be others that are triggered by that energy because of you being so grounded in that. And they're going to wish that they had what you had. But again, it inspires others to seek that within and to be comfortable with who they are. So that's a very powerful message to come out right as the collective reading. All right, are we in frame? I feel like we're a little crooked today. We need to go this way? Okay. There, that's better. All right, so for pile number 1, we have this 12th house on this dice for you to choose from. Or we have this piece of black obsidian. Pile number 2, we have this dice with the 8th house on it. Or we have this gemstone, which I'm not sure what this is. It could be fluoride, but I'm not 100% sure, for you to choose from. In pile number 3, we have this dice with the 4th house on it. Or we have this lapis lazuli for you to choose from. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever pile you feel called to, that should be the pile for you. And I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 12th house on it, or if you were drawn to this black obsidian piece, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what do strangers secretly think about you but won't say. I would like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you're new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. We do things completely differently here on this channel. So with that in mind, if the messages do happen to resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And with that, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what do strangers think about pile number 1 but won't say, Source? What do strangers think about pile number 1 but won't say? What do they secretly think about pile number 1 but won't say, Source? What do strangers secretly think about pile number 1 but won't say? Also, before we get into the thick of the reading, I would like to say we're tapping into how other people are seeing you from their own perspective. That is in no way, shape, or form the truth of who you are or reflection of you as a person. It is and will always be their perspective, their perception on life through their filters, okay? And these are strangers, so they do not know you from Adam. This is at first glance, first appearance, okay? Wow, so you got 12th house, Neptune, and Aries energy. So they feel like you're very mysterious and secretive. That there's a lot more to you than meets the eye, but that you're also very outwardly engaged with people, even though you're secretive and mysterious. So that you're secretly thinking that you must be a leader, or that you must have a very high position in your job or in life in general, that you have some sort of status because you're capable of connecting with people and remembering facts about them and being present and engaged in conversation. I also feel like you're not afraid to say hello to strangers. You're someone that walks up and you're like, oh, hi, it's nice to meet you. Or you might randomly start conversations with people you've never met before over little things, right? You're standing in the grocery store aisle together and you might start talking to someone, or people start talking to you, right? Take it as it resonates. So, and you're capable of carrying on a conversation and being present. You're not trying to pull out your phone and disconnect, or, hurry up and rush and get out of there. But there's a lot about you that people aren't sure about. Like, they feel comfortable around you and they feel like you see the person that they are behind the mask, but they're also uncomfortable with that as well. So it's like a very weird conundrum that's coming in. It's like, I want to tell Pile 1 everything, but I don't want to tell them anything at the same time, because they might even understand me deeper than I know myself. And so strangers are secretly thinking that you're this very powerful person who has the ability to influence others with a very small amount of time. When they say first impressions matter, you make a profound first impression on people that you're just running into, people that you don't even talk to. People are seeing you, on the other side of the marketplace or on the other side of the plaza or whatever it is. They're seeing you interact with other people and they're immediately drawn to you, but they're also repelled by you because of that high vibrational energy. So it's demanding them to come up into a higher vibration that they're not yet ready to come into. And so they're still stuck in a very low vibrational mentality, but at the same time, they're very intrigued by the energy and the aura that you give off. So strangers secretly think that you have to be the boss of a company, the owner of a company, some kind of CEO, some kind of high society status where people naturally give you respect. And you're the person that respect is earned. I really feel like you believe that respect is earned. But naturally people give you respect because you don't do anything to deter that trust or that respect, right? And so naturally they just respect you right away because you are very kind and compassionate to people. Like, you're all inclusive, and for them, they're secretly thinking like, wow, this is someone that I would want to know in my life. But they're also in a way starstruck. Even if they don't know you personally or they don't know who you are, they're still starstruck by you, and they would stumble over their words or be nervous to meet you. But if you walked up to them and said hi, they would be so engaged with you because they feel that engagement from you as well. Wow, that's a very cute energy. I like it. I also feel like a lot of strangers secretly dream or wish that they could be you. So we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot today. I've been really drawn to this tarot lately. I'll always go back to my original deck that I got, but every once in a while there'll be decks that I'm just really called to for a while, so. Alright, Source, what do strangers secretly think of pile number 1? We'll say a lot of people find you incredibly attractive, pile number 1. Very attractive, very unique, very bold, very assertive. You're a self-starter. What do strangers secretly think of pile number 1? We won't say. Yeah, they're also intimidated by you. What do strangers secretly think of pile number 1? We won't say. Yeah. This is that energy I was getting with the House of God, or what in this deck is called the Tower. This is that energy I was saying, like, they're immediately drawn to you. They want to tell you everything, but they want to tell you nothing because they feel like if they told you just a little bit, you would see even deeper than that. Like, you're awareness is very profound, and they secretly think that you know who they are, what's going on beneath the surface, and it's scary, right? It feels like it would start a fire in their soul, but they also feel like you're a very inspiring person, and you're very honest and truthful. That's what I was saying, that energy, like, people give you respect right off the bat because you're so honest. You're very truthful. You might seem a little cold and distant at times, but it's also part of the fact that you've learned how to take care of, love, and appreciate yourself. And you know you just can't save everybody, right? It's like, I'll be there, I'll be present with people when they're present with me, but I'm also not out here trying to be accepted or loved by everybody and their mom, because I understand that's not possible. And there's a wisdom about you that comes from experience. So no matter how old you are, people that meet you for the first time, strangers, they look at you and they think, wow, you have experienced life. You know what life is, and you know what life entails, and you've got a lot of experience under your belt, and that leaves them speechless in many cases. So it's on the bottom of the deck. We've got the 5 of Wands. That you are capable of overcoming things that would otherwise knock people down with the House of God here. So there's situations that strangers are secretly thinking that you're capable of overcoming really tough, difficult things that they themselves, if they went through, that it would just leave them completely and utterly broken. Or they think about things in their own life that are breaking them, breaking their hearts, or making them feel less than, or making them feel unworthy. And then they see you and they're like, wow, that's a person who I would like to be, because I feel like they would be able to overcome whatever I'm going through with ease and effortlessness. And so they're trying to emulate you as well. So they do have this deep regard for you as soon as they meet you. You give off this very powerful energy. That's what I was saying, like, especially with the Aries energy coming in, they immediately think you have status. They immediately think that you're a boss, you're an owner, you're a president, you're a CEO, like you give off boss status, and you're a regular BA, if you will, right? So you're just someone who would just kick life's butt and take names while you're doing it. But you also understand people on a much deeper level too, with the 9 of Swords here. Like, you're capable of seeing people in their suffering. So I feel like there's a lot of strangers that may witness you giving advice to people or giving guidance to people, because they might, you know, word vomit when you come around. Like, oh my gosh, pile 1's here. It's someone I feel safe with, and I can tell pile 1 whatever I need to get off my chest. And you'll be present with that, because you recognize that sometimes people just need someone to talk to that's not involved in their situation at all. And people might recognize this right away, and you might have people who stop and listen, and they see you giving this advice, and they trust that. People are like, oh, that's someone who gives really good advice. And you might get multiple people in a row who come up to you and ask for advice, and they're all strangers, and you might leave the store like, holy moly, there was like 12 people that just asked me for advice that I don't even know them from Adam. And you might also feel a sense of fulfillment from that as well, because I feel like that's a part of your purpose, is to help guide others in the way of the spiritual realm, to develop strong sense of spirituality, to develop a strong sense of inner self, because you yourself have developed this. And you've regained balance after very difficult things in your life. So it's like when strangers first initially meet you, they automatically feel like you're somebody who has just experienced some really rough crap. Like, and I feel like that's true. And it's not that you give off that aura, it's just because of the energy that you're in now. It's some kind of deep understanding that people would never be able to get to this part in their life, or this status, or this ability to help others without having first experienced just the worst of the worst. Right? So with the House of God at the center of the reading here, strangers automatically are secretly thinking that you're someone who's lived life, and you've lived it well. And it may have knocked you down many times, but you're the epitome of what it means to get back up every time it knocks you down. Like, you're not so stubborn, and you're not playing a victim. You're not someone who complains about life either. And that is something they find very admirable. But at the same time, it's incredibly intimidating and scary and overwhelming, because they feel like you sense who they are at a level that they're not yet ready to share with others, but you're also non-judgmental of them. And so for those that do feel brave enough to share that with you, they also get that sense that, wow, I really feel accepted by pile number one. And they may never know your name, and you may never know their name, or you may get their first name and they may get their first name, and that's it. That's the first and only and the last time that you've ever met them. And that by nature, they're a stranger. You know, that's what it feels like. So it does feel like you're talking to people. You're very good at networking. You're very good at connecting with others. And you leave an impression. Your 30 seconds that you have is like the best of the best. People are just flabbergasted by your first impressions. Chiron, exactly. Okay, so we have hurt and heal. Now, Chiron talks about the wounded warrior, right? Or the wounded healer. This is someone who goes around trying to heal others while still in a state of being wounded themselves. But we see that you've healed Chiron. And in healing Chiron, you're now the empowered warrior and the empowered healer. And so you're healing others from a healed state. You're not trying to tell others what to do while not having done that yourself. You're giving advice based on things that you yourself have done, faced, and overcome. And it's actually affecting other people and their Chiron and their hurts and their pains and their sorrows and their woes, but in a very positive way. It's helping them to heal. And so strangers are secretly thinking you're this grand healer. Or if they don't know about healers, right? Maybe some people don't, because not everybody's on the spiritual journey. They really believe that, like, oh my gosh, I was meant to meet pile number one. They really helped me out so much, and I'm really glad for that. Yeah, we have trust the great mystery with the whale spirit here, number 11. A very spiritual energy that you carry about you, pile number one. You are this powerhouse out and about. It's like people who are in your vicinity are naturally healed by you. And so strangers are automatically just staring at you, and they notice you right away. Even if you're in your own world, you might notice that there's always eyes on you. And it's because your aura stretches so far and so wide, and that heals as it bumps into others' auras. It heals them through no effort of your own. You don't actually have to do it. It's just your design. That's your makeup. And that's why people are always focused on you. What I'm seeing is that, what is that? Inception, the movie Inception, when they're in the dream world and they start doing too many things in the dream world, and they start... all the people in the dream world start looking at them, and they start realizing that this is, you're not supposed to be here type energy. But it's not that you're not supposed to be here. That's the energy that I'm getting. It's like everybody stops and stares, and they're like, whoa, pile one, what's going on? Like, I know this person's really powerful. I know this person has something about them, even if they don't know what it is. Yeah, this and that are true. You're not afraid of the darkness. You're also a bringer of light. And it's like, also with this and that are true, I do feel like there are people who are triggered by you. There are people who are worried about you being in their energy, but at the same time, they're still better off because of it, right? They've healed. Confucius and Xing Fu says, you have come a long way along the path of mastery. Learn now from your own soul, where the light of ancient knowledge shines. You are ready to receive everything. Yeah, you're like a master. You're ascended master energy. You are giving off just a master of life. No matter where you go, you're a master of life. You're very balanced, harmonious energy. And on the bottom, we have Liama and Pushel with be flexible in every situation in your life. Learn to concede in order to promote the light of peace. And that's, you're walking in this place of peace. What's peaking? Creus and Bond. We have abundance, variety, and happiness are making their way into your life. The time of harvest has arrived. So you're just this very abundant soul that people recognize right off the bat. Very balanced and knowledgeable. Capricorn energy. Buckle down and get to work. They also secretly think that you're not afraid of hard work. You're not afraid of doing what's difficult for most people, especially in the realm of healing, right? Conjunction. Stop, collaborate, and listen. This is that energy that I was feeling where you're always present. So strangers are secretly thinking you're just someone who's easy to talk to. You're always present. You're not afraid of what's happening around you. You're willing to be there. You're not trying to run away from conversations. You're not trying to run away from people. On the bottom of this deck, we have worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Yeah, so you do leave others in a state of worry, a state of panic. You know, when that healing naturally happens without us recognizing it, sometimes it leaves us in an uncomfortable state. So there are some who are very uncomfortable around you. They're secretly thinking they wish they hadn't met you, but also they're better off because they've met you, because you bring that healing energy. Whether you're directing it at them or not, it doesn't matter. You're just naturally a healer. Let's see if we can get an angel number for you here. That one. All right, on the bottom, trust. 232. Trust in yourself and the universe. Have faith in the divine plan and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Didn't I say that at the beginning too? Like, they immediately trust you. They already give you respect, but they also immediately trust you. And so you're just this powerhouse energy. I can't get beyond that because that's the energy that I'm feeling. That's what they secretly think. So you're just this powerhouse energy that's come into their lives. So naturally, you're going to trigger people, but also equally so, you're going to inspire others. Frustration. So with frustration and worry on the bottom, some people are very frustrated. They're trying to, you know, I don't know who you are, but I'm trying to put a finger on it type energy, but I just can't. And so they get frustrated trying to figure you out, trying to label you in some way, shape, or form. Mars, move forward and defend self. Yeah, you command this attention, and it's powerful. It's very powerful. We have freedom. You're free to be yourself. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. And you're not afraid to be who you are. Self-love, exactly. You're very caring of yourself. You've taken care of yourself, which we saw with the Queen of Swords energy. Prioritize your well-being and cultivate a deep sense of love and compassion for yourself with 676. And then we also have illumination. Yeah, you are the light of peace. We saw that you're a light bringer. Being a light bringer, you know, when people are in their shadows, it creates a lot of different sensations for a lot of different people. Some people are ready to receive that, and other people, not so much. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book for you, pile one. Radical honesty. This does not surprise me. So this is what strangers are secretly thinking about you, but they won't say is that you're a very honest person. It says to believe in the facade is to suffocate in the armor of alienation, self-defeat, and self-denial. Because you're so authentic and true to yourself, people who wear a mask and who are not authentic, they immediately are triggered by you. But they're also being healed in some way, shape, or form through those triggers. So it says the Mother Warrior assures you that it is okay, that not at all a failure or flaw to experience disappointments, betrayals of the heart, and confusion. Rather, this is what it is to be transparently and universally human. She encourages you to look candidly at your current limitations and past the regrets and the things that you wish were not a part of your character or life story. The Mother cautions you against continuing to deny any unwanted reality in your life and your uncomfortable feeling about it. It's not okay to ignore what does not authentically fit you. This creates unease or any kind of self-compromise or incongruency in your life. While denial seems to be an easy and simple solution to what evokes aversion or discomfort in us, it is not. To maintain the ongoing armor or facade of denial leads to a life on the battlefield of perpetual deceit, manipulation, strategy, and estrangement from ourselves and others. As time continues to go by, what is avoided or denied grows into an ever harder and larger landmine to navigate. While honesty can hurt and be brutal in the moment of disclosure, the acute pain of it is always temporary. True, a rough patch of disruption, tension, and chaos typically follows moments of radical honesty, but it does eventually dissipate. The turmoil is never the life sentence that avoidance, denial, and deception are. Yeah, so you're just this honest person that comes into their lives, and you inspire them to choose authenticity for themselves, or you scare others away. But part of that is their ability to share that with you as well, the things that are holding them back, or the things that make them feel like they cannot overcome without a third party's injecture, I think is the word that's trying to come through. But you help others come to this place of truly seeing that there are things beyond that might not make as much sense as they were raised to believe. You bring this light of illumination for self-care, self-love, and balance, and a spiritual energy that just cannot be denied. So that's what strangers secretly think of you but won't say, pile number 1. This is a very profound reading, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope that it found you well. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the 2 little swords emoji down below and say, my battlefield is through the path of honesty. I rarely have to raise my swords and fight because it is through my voice and my authenticity that I show up, and the battle ensues. And if it resonated with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box below. It will have everything you need. And with that, I would like to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow humans. If you were drawn to this dice with the 8th house on it, or if you were drawn to this gemstone, I'm not quite sure what this is. It might be fluorite, but I don't know for sure. Or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on what do strangers secretly think about you but won't say. First, I'd like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you're new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. We do things completely differently around here, so with that in mind, if the message does happen to resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out. What do strangers secretly think about pile number 2 but won't say, source? What do strangers secretly think about pile number 2 but won't say? What would you like to share with us today, source? What do secrets secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say? Also, before we get into it, I just want to clarify really quickly. We are tapping into other people's perception and perspective on you, which does not mean that is the truth of who you are, nor is that an actual direct reflection on who you are. So keeping that in mind as we're moving forward, to take it with a grain of salt, that these are truly just for entertainment purposes, okay? Alright, so we've got the first house. We have the North Node, and we've got Aquarius energy coming in. You are one unique son of a gun, is what I'm hearing coming through. Strangers see you as highly unique. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if you resonated with the collective message. If you didn't check that out, you might want to check that out, because this is that same energy that was coming in the collective energy. You're not afraid to be different. And so strangers are secretly thinking that you have found the meaning of life. That you know who you are, you know what you want, you know where you're going, and you're not afraid to go towards it. Strangers secretly think that you are a trendsetter and they would like to emulate you in a lot of the things that you do. Like, they see the way that you interact with people. They want to interact with people that way as well. You might have noticed that there have been people who have tried to do the things that you do, but they can't because it's not authentic to them. But part of us becoming what we want to become is us taking cues from the greats, right? So if you see someone who's successful, you mirror yourself after them so that you too can witness success. That's a known action that has been around for many, many years. And I feel like they see you and that's how they feel about you, pile 2. They just want to do what you do, and they want to be in the position that you're in, and they want to be able to experience the life in the way that you do. They see you as incredibly friendly. They secretly think that you're very outgoing, but you're also incredibly detached. Like, you're not concerned with whether or not you meet this person again in life, or if they're becoming your best friend or whatever. It's like you could have the best conversation with somebody and they're still a stranger, and they'll remain a stranger. And if you meet them up again later on, maybe then you might decide, hey, we should probably exchange telephone numbers because this seems like it's more ordained than it is just happenstance. But most of the time you'll have these beautiful conversations with people and you leave it at that. It was a great conversation. It didn't need to be anything more. So strangers secretly feel and believe that you are someone who's very attached to your identity in a way that's not negative. It's not negative attachment. This is like, you just know exactly who you are and you're very centered in that. And you're not trying to change yourself for others either, to be approved or to be seen or to be understood. It doesn't matter if people understand you or not. So strangers secretly think that you're just someone who has it all together and that nothing phases you. It's pretty strong energy coming in. Identity check. That's what I heard. I feel like a lot of people wish they looked like you, acted like you, talked like you. Say the things that you say. What do strangers secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say, source? So I am going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot today. I've got the star coming out, so a lot of Aquarius energy coming in here. Heavy Aquarius energy coming through. You could be Aquarius. You could have Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or very benefic Aquarian and Uranus placements in your chart. What do strangers secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say? Yeah, you're very abundant, giving person. You're very loving, kind, and compassionate, but you're also detached. You're not worried about outcomes. What do strangers secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say, source? Oh, that was 2 cards. Okay. What do strangers secretly think of pile number 2 but won't say? You're a fire starter. Oh, I love that. Yeah, you're out here setting trends, starting fires, doing the things that most people want to do but are too scared to do. Right, you see how these sticks are like leaning away from this one? Like, not realizing that they have it within themselves to do what you're doing, but rather they're just watching you from a distance and they want to be you. So they're trying to act the way that you are, not realizing that that already resides within themselves, right? Authenticity resides in all of us. And when we see someone who's authentic, we want to be like them because we ourselves want to be authentic. It's not that we want to be exactly like them. And I feel like that's the thing here. They won't want to be exactly like you, but they want to be able to do the things that you do, go the places you go. They want to be able to emulate that same type of energy. On the bottom, we have justice. So they secretly think that you're incredibly balanced and that you're incredibly capable. that you've got this good balance of light and dark aspects going on, right? That giving, but also you're not afraid to be in a state of taking, and not in a bad way. Again, it's not in a bad energy. It's just that, like, if somebody comes up to you and offers you a gift, you're going to accept it. You're going to be like, okay, cool, thanks, like, I appreciate that. But you're also not going to go out of your way to overgive and be like, oh, this person gave me a gift, so now I have to give back as much as they gave or more. You're not in that people-pleasing energy. Very balanced, very fair. The Fool. Not afraid of change. Death. Not afraid of the hard things. Not afraid of transformation. It's interesting that strangers are seeing this just by seeing you and meeting you for the first time. They're recognizing that you're not afraid of transformation. You're not afraid of doing the hard things. You just have such a powerful energy. You could have Scorpio energy highly aspect in your chart as well. Libra, Leo, Mars energy and Mercury energy is coming through as well. Yeah, you're emotionally stable. Strength, structure, stability. And you let go of the old and step into the new. You're a very positive person, but you're not necessarily bubbly positive. You're just, you always look to the good in things, but also if someone's not being in their highest vibration, you're not afraid to walk away. You're not afraid to say, okay, that's cool, meet me at the crossroads. Like, okay, yeah, that's what's coming through, is meeting me at the crossroads. So there's this energy where strangers secretly think that you're someone who has had to change a lot of who you are to get to this point. Like, it wasn't something that happened overnight. You didn't just appear this way. So they secretly think that it took a long time for you to find out who you are. But when you found it out, you were also at that point where you were brave enough to really embody that and become that. How do I feel like a lot of people are seeing you try new things? They're strangers, but they're seeing you try something new. That's what this feels like. So maybe you're going to, places where you're doing exciting things, like skydiving or bungee jumping, or these are really extreme sports coming through. Or you're trying a new game for the first time, or you're trying a new martial arts for the first time, or a new workout for the first time. Like, they see you as someone who's not afraid to try new things. So they're secretly thinking, like, wow, that person's really brave. Like, they're not afraid to be the center of attention. They're also not afraid to be seen trying this new thing. They're not afraid to be seen if they fall or fail or don't do it right the first time. Because the next time you come back, you're better at it. And you do better at it. So that's how strangers secretly think of what they secretly think about you, but won't say. Wow, that's a really powerful energy. Let's get more out. What else would you like to say for pile number 2, Source? On the bottom, look, I can't make this up. House 1, individuality, self-image, and your approach to life. So they secretly think that you're someone who's incredibly powerful in your approach to life. Like, you're not afraid to be seen as tripping or falling or failing. You recognize that that's just a part of the process, and you make it look flawless in ways. Spirit has a plan. Number 35. You might see 888 a lot as well. But they do see you as being very connected to a higher power. not necessarily religious or spiritual, but just very connected. Like you're aware of things, you're observant of things that are going on, and this could be like really connected to trusting in the process, right? That whole thing, like where you try something new, you just trust that if you keep showing up, you're gonna get better. A rebirth is assured. Yeah, you're not afraid of change. That's what they're secretly thinking about you. Like, you are someone who's not afraid of change. You're not trying to hold on to what was, or you're not trying to hold on to this ideal that I have to be absolutely 100% perfect in order to do this. So, like, say you're trying to learn a language, right? You might be the person that's the one that goes out in the first week of learning it and telling someone everything that you've learned, or talking to a native speaker just so that you can get in the practice. You know, like you're saying all the, hi, how are you? My name is, and you're like, can we keep practicing it? Can you correct me on my enunciation, my pronunciation? No. And people are like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't even do that unless I actually knew what I was going to say. But you'll make a mess of it. You find peace in the chaos. That's what people secretly think of you but won't say. Cat Joker, the time has come for action. Yeah, you will receive all only by being prepared to give all. That's what you do. You give 100%, even if you have very little of 100%. Right? It's like, I might only know 5% of what I'm doing, but I'm going to give 100% of that 5% in this moment. So that's what strangers secretly think of you but won't say. And it's inspiring. Yeah, and you're super blessed. So they secretly think that you're very blessed. Let the blessings unfold. That you're blessed with talent. You're blessed with, you know, natural talent. You're blessed with skills. Keep it professional, the 10th house. Yeah, this comes back to skill. That's what it feels like. That you're blessed with skill. With the 10th house energy coming in here. Like, as if you don't struggle like the normal people do. But I feel like you do. It's just that at some point you had to accept that this is the way it is. I have to be uncomfortable in these situations because it's through my discomfort that I learn the most. Last quarter moon, tie up loose ends. Yeah, you found a way to let go of the old and embrace the new. And also find this way of balancing the light and the dark. Retrograde, reflect, refine, redo. This is what you do. You reflect, you refine, and redo. So even if you know only a little bit about whatever it is that you're trying, you still are very clear about the amount of effort that you're going to put into it. Also, like maybe you're learning quantum physics and you know barely a little fingernail of quantum physics, but you're going to share that little fingernail with others who know way more than you, just to make sure that you understand it. And then you're going to gain access to their information, and that's going to help you understand more. Wow, you got quite a few. We've got happiness. Oh no, I thought this was 2 cards. Interesting. We have happiness. I'm aware that being happy means I'm on the right path. So you could be seen as a very happy person. You're also seen as a very loving person. Look at all this green that's coming out here. Driven by the heart space and what your heart wants. You're driven by what your heart wants. And so strangers see you as going after exactly what you want in life. Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. This is how they secretly see you. Acknowledging your fear, but replacing it with insight of awareness. That's exactly what it is. You're not in a state of denial. You're not trying to deny yourself any experience. You're coming into this state of awareness. That's exactly what this feels like. Let's get an angel number for you. Just one source. What more would you like to tell pile number 2? Oh. Alright, on the bottom we have completion, 999. Release what no longer serves you and prepare to embark on a new chapter filled with opportunities. So strangers secretly think that you have an abundance of opportunities. Like that blessing, right? Like this is something that you're blessed with, is opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, that you don't have to work hard for it. I feel like through this, you've learned that opportunities only come when you work hard for it. So not everybody will understand that, but it's just the way that it is. on the bottom of the deck, anxiety. Strangers like secretly think that you don't have anxiety, or that you haven't dealt with difficulties in the past, or that you haven't had to go through a lot of hardships. You're capable of shifting and changing, but they feel like it's not because of hardships, it's just because of you seeing something and it doesn't work. I feel like what people might not know about you, pile number 2, is that you've been diagnosed or you suffer from severe anxiety. But part of your healing has been to face that. And that's been hard to do. What's peeking out here? Yeah, mystery. They also secretly think that you're a mystery. Like, you stand out because you're so mysterious. Wow. Some deep insight. House 2. Physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. They secretly think that you're very, very well off. Like, you have a lot of money. That's why you're able to do the things that you do, which may or may not be true. I feel like regardless of your financial status or where you're at, you just make space and you make the finances happen for you to do the things that you want to do. You got cat joker, both cat jokers from the deck. It's time to take action. You're now in urgent need of structure, order, and clarity. Both of them talking about action, and that's what it felt like this whole time, is that you take action. You don't sit around and wait for things to be perfect before you start something new. So like, you could learn a game for the first time and you have them explain the rules to you once over, but if you don't understand something, you're like, I'll just learn it as I go, okay? And you just delve right in and you take action based on the little bit that you know. Or like that with the language, right? You might learn a little bit of the language and you just delve in, and you might actually be bilingual or multilingual because of that. It's not held you back not knowing the language or the fear of messing up. You embrace the mess ups. It's like, you're messy and chaotic, right? And it's like when everyone else is looking for structure and order, you're over here embracing the chaos. You're like, yeah, bring it on. The chaos is where it's all at. But it somehow makes for you to have success in the things that you do. And so strangers are witnessing this firsthand in many situations, how you embrace this chaos, but you make it look so effortless and easy. And so they secretly think you're a very chaotic person, but somehow it works for you. Failure, exactly. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. What was I saying? They secretly think that you're just lucky and given all these opportunities. And you know that it's because of failure, because of making mistakes, that's where opportunities arise from. So they're not seeing the whole picture. They're just seeing a portion of it. But for you, for sure, you've learned that your failures are what have given you experience and knowledge to show up in the energy that you show up in. Success. So they secretly think that you're incredibly successful, right? Very rich, very well off. Like, you have everything that you want. Your angel number is reflection 987. Look inward and evaluate your actions. Embrace introspection and self-reflection for your own development. So the strangers that meet you, you actually inspire them to reflect on their own actions because they want to be like you. But to be like you means to step outside of fear almost entirely. Like, it's not to say that you don't have fear. I feel like much of the time you may actually live in a state of constant fear, right? Especially if you've had anxiety. I feel like what has happened with you, Pile 2, is that you realize that fear is a part of life. And if you don't face it, you're going to stay stuck and stagnant. And for you, it's all about moving and finding peace in that chaos, finding peace in the fear and learning to take it on head on and not letting it control you anymore. Rather, you wanting to find control over your life, your destiny, and how you show up. And it definitely shows. So good job, Pile 2. All right, so we're going to take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book. The presence of absence. Hold what was absence in the presence of your love. This is an interesting card to come out for you, pile 2, because this talks about, well, we'll read it from the book, but it's this energy of like grieving what was once lost. So strangers secretly think that maybe you've lost a lot of people in your life. Like you've had to grieve a lot of death or a lot of loss, and that's led you to this place of just living on the edge, right? What's that song that's coming in right now? Hold on. I hope you love deeper. I hope you live. What is it? I hope you gave forgiveness that I know you've been denying. But I hope you get the chance to live like you were dying. Who sings that song? Live Like You Were Dying. I think it's a Toby Keith song? I don't know. It's a lot of country songs have been coming through recently. I grew up on country, so I know a lot of country songs, but I don't just listen to country. I actually listen to everything. But recently, there's been a lot of country songs. I think it's, yeah. I hope you love deeper. I hope you live sweeter. I hope you gave forgiveness that you've been denying. But I hope one day you get the chance to live like you were dying. And I feel like strangers, they secretly think that you live like you were dying. Like you've had to experience a lot of grief to get to this point. And maybe you have. Maybe you've had to experience a lot of grief. But I feel like it's also just a part of your process. You've learned to embrace that fear and not let it overtake you like most people do. Yeah, it says it's easy to fill our thoughts with the loss of loved ones and missed opportunities and regrets. Our hearts can become so overwhelmed with what is no longer or never has been part of our life that we lose sight of our present. This can be especially so with regrets about the things that we did not say, try, or do. All that we can ever change about our regrets is what we do with our gift in the present. Loss is a kind of death. When we lose or do not attain something we deeply value, something of ourselves dies or remains absent along with it. At some point, we've learned to live on and find ways to genuinely fulfill our present without this cherished person, place, attainment, or situation. The empty space where what we still love has been or would be can be painful to confront. We can either fill the empty space with who and what is absent, like the crone who sits at the dinner table with photos and become absent ourselves, or we can find a way to breathe ourselves back into life. Rather than miss this opportunity to live, we can honor and acknowledge what haunts us with gratitude for whatever was and is no longer or was not and may never be. We can use whatever was or was not to enrich how we approach living each moment to the fullest. The absence has a lesson for us. It would not have made up part of our path if it did not. It is up to us to uncover the insight and use it harmoniously. Alternatively, it may be that you resonate with this card at a level where you find it as you who has been absent throughout your life. It may be that you have lost a lot of your youth and the opportunity to make something of your life. Take heart in knowing that you are not alone. Your path has gifted you with an alternative set of inner resources, insight, and tools. To explore the value of them will illuminate a personalized way to the other side of your pain and how to create a meaningful and fulfilling life from it. Yeah, so you are seen and secretly seen as someone who has either lost something very near and dear to them or has lost a part of themselves, which has forced you into this state of living, choosing to live life. Like only people who have had great loss can choose to live in the state in which you're choosing to live. And this is what strangers secretly think about you but won't say, pile number 2. What a powerful message, truly. Oh, if it's because you went through great loss, I'm so sorry that you had to experience it. But what I will say through that is that I'm so proud of you that you've chosen life. Because that's a powerful place to be at for sure. So with this is all I see for you here. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little wellness heart down below, the heart with the bandages around it. And say that life sometimes leads us in places we never knew existed. But through that, if we choose to empower ourselves, we can live a life that we only ever dreamed about. And I choose to do that now. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It'll have everything you need. With that, I would like to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message, pile number 2. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the 4th house on it, or if you were drawn to this piece of lapis lazuli, or if you're drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on what do strangers secretly think of you but won't say. Would like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And if you are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned to loving, authentic selves. We do things completely differently around here, so with that being said, if the message happens to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. So let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, what do strangers secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say, source? What do strangers secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? What would you like to share with us today? What do strangers secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? Also, before we get into it, we're looking at someone else's perspective and perception of you. So whatever it is that might come through, remembering that that is in no way, shape, a true reflection or the reality of who you are. So please take that with a grain of salt, and remember that these are simply for entertainment purposes, okay? So we've got the 1st house. We have Sagittarius, and we have Venus energy, that you are quite lovely indeed. Strangers secretly think that you are someone who is incredibly lovely, that you're a very adventurous person, very outgoing, could be an extrovert. You don't have to be, but even if you're an introvert, I do feel like you know how to, be around people. Like, you've been through life in a way where you've had to learn how to be around other individuals and to talk to them and to speak with them very clearly. But you're someone who's also seen as very knowledgeable and wise, and they secretly think that you're someone who's very beautiful, very handsome, very magnetic, very abundant in nature, right? Whether they're thinking money-wise or just in life, like, life has offered you an abundance of luck and love and energy and fun, and you are someone who might be seen as travels a lot. You could travel a lot and meet a lot of strangers in that way. Strangers secretly think that you identify with being someone who is smart. And that's okay. It's not a bad thing, right? This is not like them being like, oh, you're a know-it-all. That's not what they're saying at all. They're just seeing you as someone who you like to ask questions. You're naturally curious, and you like to glean information from others, things that you don't know, and you add that to your own knowledge bank. They see you as this bright, warm leader, someone who comes in and just commands attention, but not in a way that's overpowering. You're not trying to eclipse people, rather you're trying to include everyone. You're trying to embrace everyone. You're also seen as the life of the party. This is a really acute energy that's coming in here. So strangers secretly think that you're the life of the party. You bring the party with you. You have this beautiful energy about you. You're fair. And they want to be around you. Like, people naturally gravitate towards you. So we're going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot today. We're going to find out what else comes through here. So, Source, what do strangers secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? What do strangers secretly think of pile number 3 but won't say? What would you like to share with us today? That you have a lot of options. I feel like people fall in love with you really quickly. You could also hang out with family quite often, and your family thinks that you have so many options and you're very talented. So strangers secretly think that you're incredibly talented, that you make difficult things seem very easy. What do strangers secretly think of pile number 1 but won't say? Also do feel like you bring up a lot of nerves on certain people. Like they get very nervous around you. They get very anxious around you. They don't know what to say because they feel like you're somebody that is going to make fun of them if they say the wrong thing. Again, it's not like they think that you're very judgmental, but it's like if you were to laugh at them, that would just be so detrimental. I don't feel like you're that way, though. I feel like you would never laugh at people just for being very human. 5 of coins. They secretly think that you've changed a lot in your life. That you've had a really bad broken heart at some point. There's something about this all-encompassing energy where you're giving so much because you know what it is to lack. Yeah, the Sun and the 3 of Cups coming out together. So I'll take it. Yeah, like you're trying to bring this love and this light to everybody. And so strangers secretly think like you're this warm energy that's going to make them feel better, or that's trying to make them feel better by just being your loving self, your beautiful self. You're not trying to force yourself onto anybody. You're just naturally capable of walking into a room and lighting up the entire room. And so strangers secretly think that you're this light giver that's helping others balance themselves in a state of solid emotional building. So it's like when people might have a lack of emotional skills, you make up for that, and that balancing out on the life's mobile, if you will, helps others to find that balance within themselves. On the bottom, we have the 7 of Cups. Yeah. That you have very clear emotional boundaries. Like you're not trying to carry everybody's business, you know, like you're really out here trying to spread light and love and give that in a very unique way. And so strangers secretly think that you are very good at making sure that you don't take on other people's hardships because you've had your own. The Mother of Wands, you are so attractive. Physically, yes. Spiritually, heck yes. Emotionally, oh my lord. Where did you come from, pile 3? They secretly think that you are so incredible, that you are so magnetic. Like that is not something that's just gonna, oh, it's just, oh, pile number 3, you're, no, like you're so magnetic. People want to be around you. They naturally gravitate towards you because you're a beautiful soul. You might identify with an earth angel or a starseed. Really am getting earth angel vibes here. Like, you might really, really identify with that. And if you don't, that's okay. That's what people, they think you're an earth angel. They feel like you came to help them find this beauty in life. And I feel like maybe you have a very unique body. You're not what all of society would say as like magazine level beautiful. And please do not take this as a jab. It's not at all. I actually feel like Source designed you in a way where yes, you are beautiful, you're very handsome, but I feel like they designed you in a way where it already is breaking down people's ideas of you have to be top model skinny or you have to be top model fit types. Do you know what I'm saying? Like in the magazines. Like you would not be in a magazine, not for the sake of not being beautiful, but because it doesn't fit that whole belief that you have to weigh 110 pounds, or if you're a guy, you have to weigh 135 pounds, or whatever it is. And it doesn't matter. You got to be 6'5" or you got to be 5'1". You know, like you're someone that when people look at you, they're naturally drawn to you because you have such a, I don't want to say it's normal. That's not what I want to say, but that's what keeps coming through. It's like a normal, you look like a normal person. You look like this normal person, but as soon as people step into your aura, as soon as people get into your vicinity, they're just blasted away by this beautiful light. And you look like an everyday person, right? You're not someone that's, you know, when you see models and you know they're models and you're like, oh Lord, like I can't even talk to that person, or I could forget trying to ask them to go out to eat because we know they're not going to eat type energy. You don't give that. Like you would probably welcome a great meal. You're like, heck yeah, let's go. Let's enjoy. Let's have some great conversation and let's be real with each other, you know? So I'm not trying to say that you're not physically beautiful, because you are physically beautiful. You're physically good looking. But you don't fit the societal norm of what that is. Like you're breaking that construct down. You're literally blasting it away because you look like an everyday person, but there's something that is so magnetic about you that it cannot be missed. Even people who are jealous are magnetically drawn to you and in awe of you. Even if they're jealous, like they're not going to say they're jealous. So there's strangers here that are taken aback by your beauty, and it's the soul that's shining through. Like you've given room and space for your soul to illuminate your being. You have somewhere along the journey recognized that you are so much more than the meat suit that we were wearing, right? Like you have realized that, and you have accepted, embraced, and you're embodying that. And what people are met with are not your physical appearance. They're met with your spiritual presence. Ah, thank you, Source. I felt that. Like, that made so much more sense. I'm so glad it came through, because I was kind of getting nervous here. Like, okay, this is not what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. So Source took over. Source got it. Source got us. Okay, thank you, Source. Yeah, they're met with your spiritual presence, and they feel that. And so even if people are haters, they're secretly hating on you, but they're not ever going to say anything, and they're not even going to give you evil eye, because you're too bright and brilliant for that. And even if you're like, oh, I think they're glaring at me, like if you were to look at them, if you were to stop and actually look at them for just a second, you would recognize how nervous they get, because they're just completely overwhelmed by your energy. But strangers secretly think that you're this person who has so many options, that you have so many abilities, that you have so many skills, that you're so abundant, that people are just fawning at your feet. And I feel like it's because most strangers are fawning at your feet. I don't feel like in normal life, like that's happening all the time. Like people are just falling at your feet, like, oh, pile 3, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy, right? Like I don't feel like people are doing that in normal life, but this is what they're secretly thinking, that people you know or have known for a long time do that. But I feel like people that you've known for a long time, pile 3, are just so happy they know you, because they feel like you're just a real soul. Like you're down to earth, and you're just genuine and loving and kind, and you're not only beautiful on the outside, but because you're so beautiful on the inside, it enhances all your outward beauty in a way that no makeup, no AI, no filter, no, Photoshop could ever emulate your beauty. It would never. Even if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're non-binary, none of that matters. It's just you. When I say beautiful, It's literally the definition of beautiful. That's you. Like, here's a picture of you in the dictionary under the definition of beautiful. And that's what strangers secretly think but won't say. And they feel like you've had to go through a lot, because with that, it's like a burden that you carry, but you carry it so well. And that you've had to have broken hearts, or that was just a fact of your life, and that through that you've learned how to be all-encompassing and all-inclusive of others. Woof. So what more would you like to tell pile 3 slurs? Because holy Toledo, let's be real. I love it. And also, just really quickly, if you've watched all 3 piles, if you stuck out the whole reading with me, I really do appreciate you. Leave a purple heart down below. That's part of my Purple Heart Club. That will happen on every reading. Even if I forget to mention it, you're welcome to leave a purple heart down below and just say I made it. I know what that means. And if you are just here for pile 3, I love you just as much. You mean the world to me. I'm actually really honored I get to connect with you in this way, because this is such a beautiful energy coming through. So thank you. Yeah, we have the 10th house. Structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. People secretly think that you are very abundant. So strangers just naturally believe that you are walking in your path of purpose. Like, you know who you are, you know what you want, you know what you're doing, and you're going towards it. And I feel like many of you are like, I have no idea what that is. And that's okay, because strangers, they secretly think that you do. I love this. Be fearless and bold. So strangers secretly think that you're incredibly bold and you're fearless and nothing phases you. It's like you're the person that's like, there's something about you. I just can't quite put my finger on it, but there's definitely something about you. That's what strangers are saying about you. Whoa, okay, that's too many, Source. That's too many. We got too many. Okay, this one for sure wants to be out. And I'll take these 2. I feel like they want to be out, but the other ones, we're going back in the deck. Stellium, stop obsessing. So strangers are secretly obsessed with you. They're secretly wanting to get closer to you. You might have people just approaching you and saying things to you just to talk to you. Why? Because you're this embodiment of peace. I am a being of love. I release all negative energy. Exactly. You're all encompassing. You bring this beautiful love everywhere you go, and you're a being of peace. And that peace is so magnetic in this chaotic world. Regret. I know that I cannot change the past, the heartbreak. You know you can't change it, and somehow you've integrated that. And so strangers secretly think that whenever you've had a broken heart, you've been able to overcome it. And you've been made stronger because of it. People that have never met you automatically think that you've experienced some really difficult things. You might resonate with one of the other piles for sure. That's been a message in one of the other piles. It was really strong. But for you, it's like this energy where it's like, oh, pile 1's been through something, and they've been through something really hard. Like, you can't be that beautiful without having gone through something really rough. And if you have, I'm so sorry that you had to, right? But also just knowing that you've learned to integrate that part of yourself, and that's a very empowering thing. Balance, 222, maintain harmony and balance in your life to manifest your desires. Yeah, so again, peace, balance, you're a very harmonious individual, and that is something that strangers are secretly thinking about, how harmonious and balanced you are. We have Aradia niece with Aradia has spoken. Your inner servitude is over. Your beliefs and dependencies are melting away. I'm awakening the magic that will free you. Know that freedom begins in thoughts. So connecting with the divine as well. I feel like strangers think that you're very connected with divine, with faith, with magic, maybe with manifestation. What do strangers secretly think of pile 3 but won't say? Trust. Yeah, you trust in the magic. You trust in the possibilities that are. That's where your peace comes from. You don't need to resist. You just open up to what is. Disruption. Yeah, and it's all because there's been a disruption in your life. There's been something that was really difficult that you had to go through. So it's interesting that strangers are picking up on this. It's something that you might wear on your sleeve unknowingly. It's not like you're broadcasting it naturally, like you're trying to broadcast it to the world. It's just that you have this aura about you that states, I've been through it. I went through it. I had to go through it. Like, and strangers are sensing that and recognizing that that's what's made you so powerful and strong. Earth. Persistence, patience, practicality with Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy coming through. You're the adventurer, but you're also very, very practical, very, very patient. The patience of a saint, I just heard. Set healthy boundaries. Yeah, again, reaffirming some of the messages that came through with Armadillo Spirit here. Set healthy boundaries. So strangers secretly think that you have very clear boundaries. Like, you know how to say no to people, and you're not afraid to say no to people. Shadow period. Proceed with caution. This is what I was saying. Like, strangers secretly think that you've had to go through something like that was very... It brought a lot of caution into your life. It was a shadow period or dark night of the soul energy. Wow. Gemini, change your mind. I feel like they secretly think that you've been in places where you've had to change your mind because of these boundaries. First house, identity check. Yeah, you identify as this peaceful, trusting person, but just because you're a peaceful, trusting person, strangers secretly think that just because you're nice, that's not a weakness for you. And it's not. It never has been. Well, maybe it had been at some point, but you've learned through trial and error and experience that that's not who you have to be. So we have Aramid and Matilda with you are now in need of rest and recuperation. It is only when cradled in the silence of a powerful being that you can achieve self-awareness and follow your soul path with divine clarity. So strangers secretly think that you are a powerful being. You're helping them see self-awareness, and that's probably why they're able to witness this shadow about you as well. Because you're so powerful, like I was saying, Earth Angel. Of course, Starseed is coming through. You know, whatever it is that you feel that you are is fine. It's just showing that that's something that shows to others. Even if they don't know what that is, it's something that they feel. Adaptability, 765. You are flexible and capable of facing changes. Trust in your strength to navigate any challenges that arise. So strangers secretly think that you are very adaptable to life. Like, you don't let it, get you down or phase you in how you show up. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book. We have number 10 with assistance with excess. It is necessary to ask for and accept help in order to receive it. With the key. So they secretly think that you've had to ask for assistance with something, or they've witnessed it. I do feel like there's some that could have witnessed you asking for help, and it never made you seem weak. It made you all the more powerful for that. It says maidenhood is a time of limited autonomy. It is the budding stage of the underdeveloped mental, physical, and emotional capacities. It is also a period in which there is the least distortion clouding our connection to the spirit self, which, if you have not pile 3, check out the collective message, because the card we got was the spiritual self as a collective energy. Conversely, the older we get, the more autonomy we have and the more estranged we are from our spirit self. Throughout life, we require the assistance of others, circumstances, and the world in order to grow. Whether or not we like it, acknowledge it, or accept it, a time will come when we cannot ignore that we can neither do everything alone nor have everything done for us. We must learn the middle way of active and receptive living with and amongst others and the world. The maiden holds a key that illuminates her surroundings. She is pointing the key towards her chest, where she believes the lock to be. However, her conscious attention and desire are not enough to find the keyhole and unlock her way into all that is within. The maiden requires assistance to discover the full spectrum of who she is. This is the same for every one of us. Like the maiden, we hold the key to ourselves and simultaneously remain in need of an independent relationship with other people, places, and situations to assist us in accessing the full terrain of our spirit self. The maiden supports you through a time of asking for help and accepting it from those who are genuinely a pure source, love, and light. May you allow yourself the time to seek out those knowledgeable and willing to assist you in learning how to access and embody your full power and purpose. Throughout your journey of self-discovery, remember to practice discernment and trust your intuition on whether someone, a situation, a thing, or a place is safe and right for you. Always receive with gratitude and love that which is wholeheartedly and transparently given. You're an embodiment of source love, and strangers secretly know this in their core, whether they're consciously aware of it or not, but it impacts them on a soul level. And you being in their energy or around them, it really does help them start to connect with their spirit selves as well. You inspire them to find that light within, because you are the all-encompassing light that's walking on this earth at this time. Wow, this is such a powerful message. So this is what I see here for you, pile number 3. If you felt like this was your message, leave the little key emoji down below and say, I unlocked my own heart. And it is through this open heart that I am able to help others find and unlock their hearts as well. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, check out the description box. It will have everything you need. And with that, I would like to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this powerful message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.